Figure offers some really interesting musical colors for you to play with, and the tonality section is where you can make that happen. In order to understand how you can take advantage of some of these sounds, you have to understand a little bit about scales and modes. Bear with me for a while we go into a little bit of music theory. There are 12 keys, or tonal centers in music. The key wheel has 12 settings, as you can see, and changing it affects the tonality display. These 12 keys are named after the 12 different keys on the piano keyboard. Music moves in patterns, and in the 12-key system, you can create a melody pattern or a bass pattern in any one of the keys, and then move it to a different key. The intervals between the notes will remain the same, but the starting note will be different. Let's switch to the key of C major for a moment. Once you're in a particular key, in this case, C, you get 7 different notes. You may know the Do Re Mi song. If not, click this link to check it out. That's pretty much it. Those 7 notes from that key form a scale. The notes in the scale are called scale degrees, or scale steps. Take a look at the lead sound and adjust the scale degrees to 7. Can you hear the Do Re Mi scale? This bar is darkened because that's your home bass, or Do, in the Do Re Mi song. Any changes you make in the tonality section affect the bass as well as the lead. This is good because we want the bass and the lead to agree with each other. Notice that there are 7 tabs around the tonality control. They are your scale degrees. Switching to something other than C major will make the dark bar be on a different note, and thereby change where your home bass is. In the key of C major, the darkened bar was C, and the notes after it were D, E, F, G, A, B, and back to C. When we switch to another mode, say for example G dominant, which is the 5th degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in the key of C, the darkened bar is now G. Watch this. The notes after it are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. In fact, we can find our Do Re Mi song by starting on C. But you'll notice that the 5th degree of C is now the darkened bar, or our home bass. It's important to realize that the 7 notes of the scale remain the same when switching in the first row of pads in the tonality sector. Doing this is called playing in different modes of the major scale. You can start on any note of the major scale. When you start on C in C major, it's called the Ionian mode. When you start on G, it's called the Mixolydian mode. You don't really need to know all the names of the modes in order to use them. Just know that all you're doing when you switch in this first row of the tonality sector of figure is that you're changing the starting note. You're changing the darkened note in the display. It's also useful for playing common chord progressions like this. Here, I'll play a C, F, G progression. The second row is where the real fun begins. Picking a tonality here will give you a scale other than the major scale and its modes. You'll get some altered scale degrees and some exotic, unusual sounds. The theory behind it is a little involved, so I'll come back to it in a later lesson. For now, use your ears and play with some of these new sounds.